There you go. And now you can.
All right, so let's get started. Welcome to Ascend Live. This is part one of an 8-part series designed to show you a new, calmer way for business growth. So excited for this event. I've been waiting for this event. And Christine and I have been getting this together for, the last week or two when we had the idea and wanted to change up our live training format to Ascend Live. So let's jump into it. Got a lot of good stuff to talk about. And thank you so much for all of you being here today with us. So Ascend is an 8-part free, I want to emphasize the word free there, weekly live training for wellness pros to attract clients, create content, and build smart systems without hustle or tech overwhelm. And it'll be worth sticking around to the end because for those that attended live today, we will give a worksheet and additional training for free. So more free stuff. That's always good. Christine and I are givers, so I think we're pretty generous, and we like to provide all the support we can for you guys. So welcome everyone. I'm really glad you're all here. This space is intentionally quieter than most business conversations. And that's not by accident. That is by design, of course. This series exists for wellness practitioners who are deeply skilled at helping others, but feel increasingly uncomfortable with how they're told they're supposed to grow. Right, Christine?
Oh, absolutely. And if your nervous system felt a little relief when you read that a quieter way to grow, that's really information that your brain takes in and the image reinforces that. And we are going to honor that today. But before we go further, how about you drop one word in the chat that describes how marketing has felt for you lately?
Excellent idea, Christine. Let's get that chat going, everyone. I would like to see some engagement, and let's get that chat box lit up. So you didn't choose this work because you loved algorithms. You chose it because you care about transformation. Isn't that right? And yet, somewhere along the way, visibility became confused with value. And here's the reality. We all became wellness entrepreneurs because we want to help people, right? We didn't sign up to be full-time marketers. We just want to help people, yet every day when watching our bank balance, we are confronted with the reality none of us really enjoy. And that's needing to ask for a fair payment. Is there anyone here struggling with that? I know I have in the past. And you don't need to say anything. Just take a few seconds to reflect on this quietly. Christine, why don't you copy the questions in the chat for our people so one by one. That way they can answer them in the chat. That'd be great.
Thank you, Gary. I do that, and we get a lot of engagement. People have answered the first question that the marketing feels tedious, miserable, oversaturated, tedious. I have not even been marketing. Oh my God, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's true, and that's how it feels for most of us, and has felt for us in the past too. It's just something we don't want to do.
That's right. Let's jump into question number one. What were you hoping for when you embarked on your wellness business journey? This is a good one to kick us off. Please
Yeah,
throw it in the chat. I'll leave it up for a little bit so you can see it. And Christine's putting in the chat too, so it'll be there.
it is there, and we just got another answer. Overwhelming and confusing. Yeah, the marketing has gotten harder, and AI made it worse, I think. So with or with AI, it still is a similar process, and that's exactly what we are showing you, Gary and I, in this series. Oh my God.
Absolutely. Yes, there's a better way for sure. And that's what we're bringing to the table here. we want to change things in this area, in this space here, make
Gary,
things better. There's always a better way, and we believe that we've found out the better way for you.
we get wonderful answers here, for example, to help other women become who they really want to be. Now, isn't that gorgeous? I
I
always
love that. I love that.
increase of contacts and clients. I was imagining serving hundreds of women, that people would reach out to me. They used to several years ago, but I feel like I'm invisible. Oh, that's so true, right? AI has made everybody who's not on top so invisible. It's ridiculous. To heal myself first. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I think that's enough time for question number one. Let's jump into the next question. Question number two. Did your dream work out the way you hoped it would? If not, what happened to the dream?
Mm. Highest good. Help myself and others clear emotional burden, lift into our best selves. You know, these are wonderful intentions, and we are planning a philosophy, history, and series that I probably will do that relates to books and literature, and I'm looking forward to exploring those questions because these are really questions that humanity has asked themselves for thousands of years. Yeah, here's the answers to that questions. Not yet. Dream got buried in tech overwhelm, imposter syndrome, and increasing visibility fears. Thank you for being honest. I know exactly how that feels. Believe me, I know. Part of it has manifested, and I realize the hike is not over. Thanks for the hike thing. I think it's really a hike, right?
This is great. You guys are amazing. I love this. This is so good. Yeah, Christine and I are all about meaningful conversations. So I like that we're doing this new event series, and we have some new things in the works that you'll be excited for too. We'll get into that another time though. So let's move forward. Question number three. And what happened to the dreamer? You, right? What happened? Where did things go off track? How did the feeling of becoming a wellness entrepreneur, running your business, working on the tasks that are required day by day, how did this feeling change over time? What was it like when you first started versus how does it feel now? This one's a good one. This is kind of a three-parter, so I'll leave this up for a minute and give you some time. But I think
Yeah,
this one's good.
we all had a dream, right? A little bit. I know Martin Luther King was famous for his saying, I have a dream. Really, we all have a dream. We are just not that famous, honestly. But the dream is alive. And then comes reality, right? What happens to the dream? And especially to the dreamer, because I know how frustrated I felt in the beginning. Stuck in the dream, yes. We still have the dream, but somehow that's what I sometimes say when I talk about this sparkle. It got smaller. The candle flickered. It can be frustrating, and that's exactly why we're doing what we're doing, right, Gary?
Right, yeah, exactly. We want to make the journey smoother for you. And we've been through it all, so I think we're in a good spot to do that. And you'll see as this presentation goes on, and then the rest of the events in this series, I think will really enlighten you to a better path forward.
Peggy, I love what you're saying. She's still here. You, the dream, the dreamer, tends to be easily distracted. Here I am with life, financial obligation, illnesses, family. Exactly. Journey was unexpected. Never thought, yeah, I would be unemployed. I never thought I would be there. I thought I would have more freedom, but I'm working harder than ever. Exactly. Gary noticed that he came from corporate. I started out excited and hopeful, but now I feel stuck and struggling. That's exactly why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, perfect. All right, let's
Beautiful.
continue.
Wow.
So I think this is so true that, somewhere along the way, the work became about content calendars, engagement metrics, email outreach, and posting all day and night, right? It became just a daily grind, hustle, and an overwhelming load of never-ending tasks.
Hmm.
Can you relate to that, Christine?
Huh. Absolutely. I actually see that constantly with physicians and practitioners. And here, the people on the call said the same thing, and it's absolutely true. I've seen it by myself. People that are trained, just like you here on the call, we are trained to read bodies, we read patterns, we need nuance. But we are told to shout online just to stay relevant, to show up all the time with new stuff, and it really creates internal conflict, right? So
Right.
I have a pretty interesting question, and the question is, it creates frustration. Thank you. How many of you have thought, just like me, I'm good at what I do, but this part, that it's so hard to communicate that to people online, it makes me question myself.
It's a great question. Give you a
Absolutely.
little bit of time with that one.
And Gary and everybody, I really feel that is one of the main reasons that it is so difficult to be an online wellness entrepreneur. I think your self-doubt is so real. And we are a little bit advanced. We are not at the top, if there ever is a top, honestly, because it's very easy to get off the top and down. I sometimes call it a roller coaster, because it's an up and down and it's hard. You're
Absolutely,
that
yeah. And
day.
self-doubt is a big one, you know.
I like that, but there are people out there waiting for you, what you offer. And that is so true. There are, and we need to remind you of that. Thank you for that. The choices are in front of you to advancing, right? And that's a typical roller coaster. And sometimes when I just closed a few deals, the bank account is filled up, I'm on top of the world. And then there's a dry spell for a while. And then I think, oh my God, what happened? It's me. Is it me? Excellent. Thank you so much.
Right. All right, let's get back to it.
Hmm.
And of course, as a consequence to all this, your nervous system is constantly on edge. You often feel stressed, right? And
Hmm.
we've all felt this, believe me. I know I have. And this is great because now you have awareness. Awareness is key. You got to know what's happening before you can fix it or change it. And this slide matters because burnout isn't a mindset problem, it's a systems problem. Right, Christine? Wouldn't you agree with that one?
Yeah, absolutely. Because really, when the way you are asked to grow violates your capacity, your body will push back, right? The body keeps the score, famous book, but it's not weakness. It really is intelligence. So right now, let's make a micro pause. Gary always talks about micro actions.
Yes.
Let's do a micro pause. Everyone, feel invited to just relax a little bit, ground yourself, unclench, relax your jaw, even if it looks funny. Put your shoulders up to your ears and then consciously drop them and relax and feel how much tension was in your neck before. And now let's take one slow, deep breath together. So please breathe in with me. Deep breathe in and then breathe out 4 times as long as you breathe in, because that activates the vagus nerve response and the relaxation response. And that counter balances our stress a lot.
Thanks, Christine. That's huge. I think that, it's a good little reset, right? I like that so much. And now it's time for action and moving forward with intention and a calm sense of achievement and contentment. What do you say about that, Christine?
Well, of course, I agree, because we are doing everything together most of the time, because together we are stronger, right? And there's an old
Absolutely.
Chinese saying, and you certainly have heard about this. I think it was Lao Tzu or somebody who said, the path is the way. And really, what that means is we need to set a clear goal first so we know the direction we want to go in. And once we know the direction, we need to take one calm step forward it every day, doggedly. That's it. And nothing more is required. And one of my mentors, Christian Mickelson, he's quite a famous life coach. He says success is inevitable. When you hear that, you might think, that's not true. I failed so often. Yeah, but it's inevitable. The timing is not known. Yes, there's failures in between and dips, but in the end goal, success is inevitable. Timing is unknown. And so you're absolutely right to question this.
That's right. Timing's unknown, but I think success is inevitable if you just stay the course. I think that's the main thing, right? Stay the course.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. I love Christian Mickelson. I've learned a lot from him. And he is one of the best courses he offers is what's it called? Free Sessions Itself. Highly recommend.
Right. And the overwhelm that you're experiencing has a source. And one of those sources is that most advice treats symptoms, not the causes. They tell you all the time to post more, try harder, optimize again, right? That's what all the experts and gurus are saying out there. But the real issue isn't effort. It's that there's no system holding the effort.
Yeah, that's right. And I see practitioners all the time blaming themselves when really what's missing is a proper structure, not the discipline.
Right. Yeah, we see that all the time. And so another source of overwhelm is scattered energy.
Hmm.
And scattered energy, it creates lack of focus, right? And that's when, you really can't move forward. That's where you feel like you're stuck spinning your wheels. Because when you feel scattered, you try every tactic without a central structure.
And that,
Yeah, and then that leads to reactive mode. You ever feel like you're constantly putting out fires? That's when you're in reactive mode and nobody wants to be there. It's hard to accomplish anything when you're in reactive mode.
we got a good question in the chat. And I mean, when you have ADHD, it's very, very difficult. And I get that. I have actually acquired adult ADHD. I'm not getting into that, but I have learned to manage it for my benefit. And another question, but how to build a system that works for you? Very good question. We'll show that in the course of Ascent.
That is important. And you can turn that into a superpower, like Christine said, ADHD, that you can turn that into a superpower very easily. And that's about that focus again. It's you get that focus, you maintain that focus, and you become unstoppable, I believe.
I agree. I agree. And the system that works for you, I hope, JJ, you and our community, because we'll talk about that in other events and online. And feel free to book a meeting and we can show you what might work so you can have a meeting with us and make your own decision because that's what we.
Right. Yeah, and back to reactive mode, that's when we just respond to trends and putting out one fire at a time, like I mentioned, instead of building supportive, calm foundations. And this is what we want.
Putting out fires, that's what I did for the longest time.
Oh, I know, me too, exactly. I know it seemed like there was a period when we were in that phase for a while. And, it's kind of hard to break free from that sometimes. But once you do, it's well worth it. And if you don't break out of reactive mode, that's when you enter into the burnout cycle. And that's a dangerous place to be because that could lead to taking a step back. And we see that all the time. People take step back, they step back for a few weeks, and sometimes maybe they don't even come back to their business. They're just like, oh, I stepped back for a few weeks, and then they get comfortable, and then it's hard to get back in. We hustle, we may rest for a bit, we repeat and try harder, but we're never quite catching up. That's you feel
Yeah.
like you're in that hustle loop, spinning your wheels, feeling more and more exhausted. That's the beginning of burnout.
And I was there, and I still sometimes I think when something goes wrong, oh my God, why do I even do that? Is it so much easier to work in corporate? But then you have to deal with the boss you may or may not like. So there's challenges in whatever you do. I would say life is really challenging to live.
It is, and if you when you get into that, if you start into that burnout phase, things become urgent. And just
Mm,
taking a vacation for a few weeks or resting for a few minutes is no longer enough to fix it because you let
mm.
yourself get too deep into that. So we want to prevent that from happening. And
So
here's another question for you. Question number 4.
let's ask you, which of these feels most familiar right now? Are you still in the scattered energy, reactive mode, burnout cycle, or all three of them? I mean, you can combine them. It's not helpful, but you can. I've done it. So
Oh, it happens, yes.
I think it's important to realize that we are all in one boat and it happens to the best of us.
It does, and it's part of the journey. It does make you stronger. And I think it's a necessary part of the journey because you learn from that every time and you grow every time. So it's important, and that's part of being uncomfortable, right? And that's because that's when the growth is happening.
Too many plates spinning at one time. Yeah, that's it. You feel like any moment it will clutter and come down on you,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I
I
like
like
that.
that image very much. Gary, I think I need to go for a new battery. My mouse is giving up its life.
Uh-oh. Yeah, well, this is the time it would happen, right? For sure. So, what if growth could feel different? Just imagine this for a minute, not as fantasy, but as design. And this is design is important. I think it's important to be strategic about what you're doing. And planning strategically eliminates a lot of these issues like reactive mode and burnout. If you would experience growth that doesn't require daily peak performance, how would that feel? And where did Christine go? She did go get new batteries right on the spot, huh? Christine?
I am here. My mouse is still dead. What am I supposed to do? I have no idea. This is
I-
classic hustle now. Is it hustle or is it something just doesn't work? I've learned
yeah, it's
to automate the mouse and the batteries, right? That's where capacity returns when we take a breath.
all right. So
What
let's continue.
required. So if you're ready or listening to this now, just notice when you read those slides, what does your body do? And I would even say that that matters more than strategy right now. How does your body feel? There.
Just imagine waking up to new client inquiries without having posted anything the day before. How nice would that be? That's when things are running on autopilot, and that's what we want. We can use automations for a lot of these tedious tasks. And when it's flowing properly, these things are working while you're asleep. It's like your business never sleeps, even when you have to. And that's what we want. That's where we want to be, and that's where we're going to go. Picture your business respecting your energy and your boundaries. This is a big one. energy and your boundary. You got to protect your boundaries too. You can't, I think there was a period of time when Christine and I were just trying to give so much that it really created a more chaos in our environment. So we had to rein that in a bit. And now we're a little more strategic about that. And I think things are flowing great right now. I mean, the energy I'm feeling is just off the charts. So it does work and it does get to a better place. And you're on your way there if you're here, which is a great place to be. And this is not about doing less because you've given up. It's really you're becoming more efficient. And when you become efficient, it feels like you're doing less, but you're actually more productive. That's what I've come to find.
Right? We really don't want to give up. And that's why,
Never.
and of course, when we give up, we don't do anything anymore. But that is not really what we want, right?
Right. It's all about doing what actually works with intention, clarity, and care. Let's even say self-care because I believe your peace and your well-being are of utmost importance. You have
Mhm.
to take care of yourself and get yourself right before you're really able to help others. So I think this is so important. So now let's talk about the solution to these issues. We call it the client engine. A client engine is not a funnel. It's not hype. A client engine is a simple, ethical system that attracts aligned clients consistently without having to be on all the time. That's big because I know, there's times where I was on all the time. I felt like I wasn't getting any rest. And then that's what leads to what we talked about, reactive mode, burning out, the overwhelm, all that stuff. So we don't want to be there. And this works with your energy instead of against it. And that's important. The client engine has three quiet pillars. The three pillars work together, creating momentum that feels natural rather than forced. This is harmony. And that's where you want to be. Everything seems like it's clicking and flowing smoothly. Oh my gosh, it's such a good place to be. It feels great. And it will come. So let's talk about pillar number one. One clear offer. We've talked about this before, and your a clear offer is so important. That really sets the foundation of everything, I believe. And that means that at this point, we focus on just one transformation that you deliver best. What's your number one go-to? What do you do best? What's in your wheelhouse? That's where you want to live. And this clarity reduces cognitive overload for you and your clients. This makes conversations easier. And that's what we want, those easy conversations that feel natural. Right, Christine?
Absolutely. And we just got a question here. How do you deal with boredom? I'm the expert on that, believe me. So we'll answer the question at the end because people like myself that have ADHD from whatever source, they often feel bored and we can fix that.
Oh, absolutely.
And in the end, when we simplify, decision fatigue drops because hustle is not good marketing. And letting go of superfluous things is really regulation. Right. I do the same thing. I did. I still try to. And then Gary says, wait, wait, wait. I'm always jumping to the next thing I want to do before I've completed the first. I think that it's a matter more of the time that we live in, because we are subject to thousands of ideas. Drive you crazy. Well, we have an idea on how to change those ideas into actually strategy. Stressful, yeah, absolutely. It would feel stressful. Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's the thing. If we don't have clarity about the one thing we do best, That is stressful. I get it. It is very. And yeah, oh my God, the chat is alive, Gary, paying more
I
attention.
love it. I love the engagement. We have such a good group. Oh my gosh, this is
Hmm.
awesome. Let's move on to the second pillar. It's a simple path in. And what I mean by a simple path in is, a calm invitation, a workshop, or a simple opt-in form that's only asking for name and email. Don't make it too busy. Um, the more you add, the more friction there is, right? So you want to remove the friction for both of you, you and your client or members. So let's keep it simple, a simple path in. One calm invitation, not five entry points, not endless options. I think we used to do that a lot, and it creates more friction there, and that's not comfortable for anybody. So that doesn't make it a smooth path.
Right, and there's one thing, the mistake I made all along, and thankfully Gary helped me with that. I did exactly that. I thought, oh my God, I have to offer everything and see what works. And yes, in the end, you can do that, but it's always one thing first and finish that thing calmly. And we are here to help you exactly do that because we have transformed and consolidated everything we do in exactly that way. And our business in the box system built on the Go High Level ecosystem can help with that. We have now 3 different levels from easy to a little more advanced. And of course, you get all the help with it that you need. So you're so right, Gary, because confusion creates friction and simplicity creates safety. And the mistake I always made was to confuse my customer, and a confused customer doesn't buy. That's a big thing. It was really big for me. And Gary said, no wonder they don't buy. They don't know where to start. Oops. So I
Too
got caught.
much, yeah, too much, too fast, right? The old fire hose, right?
Yeah, Firehouse, that's a good one. So if you know your current path, do you have one? Think about it. What is your current path?
Great question. Yeah, I'll give you a little time to think about that one. That's important. All right. Well, let's move to pillar number three. Pillar number three is to maintain a gentle, consistent presence, not blast posting all day. Been there, done that, but rather showing up with intention, something meaningful, a quality email every week or two. I think that's more important than daily emailing. It's always about quality over quantity. And this is where people expect pressure, but we mean consistency without urgency, right? I know a lot of the top experts are always talking about urgency, scarcity. They want you to prod and poke people and move them along. There's a better way to do that. We don't need to do that. We offer great things. It's a no-brainer. People want what we offer and they come to us and at their pace, which is much nicer.
And karma, because I really think the whole world of marketing, especially online, is transforming. And especially through AI, it has gotten much more louder and in a way faster, and people tend to be left behind. And that's not helpful because really what we want is presence without depletion. That's a goal.
Right. And email is a good way to stay present with your clients without pressure, right? And I like that. I'm not into the pressure and the chasing and the
No, I don't
prodding.
like that at all. I did it for a while. I hated it every day. Yeah, it works to a certain extent, but really the clients come in, the clients leave. That's not what I want to do. So how do you align what you want to do with what works? So let's look at how are you currently sending emails? And I admit we are still in the process of cutting that down. And please give us feedback. If you get too many emails from us, and thankfully we get that feedback from some of you. I want to know, because some of you appreciate one, and we mail to several topics. So some of you might get more, some of you might get less. And we now have in every email on the bottom next to the unsubscribe link a preference center where you can choose what topics you want to get emails from. So if you want emails only to specific topics, let us know. Right now, Gary, when do we send emails? I think just this Sunday, right?
Yes, exactly. I like weekly emails the best. I think one powerful value stacked email is all you need. And our Sunday email, our newsletter, that sets you up for the week ahead, lets you know what's going on, like this event, for instance. I think that's enough. And then people know when to expect it and they're looking for it and it shows up in their inbox every Sunday. And, Sunday's a day when people are relaxing and spending time with their family, but they still are online and checking their emails and they want to prepare for the week ahead. So I think I love that timing. So hopefully that works for you all, and we would definitely love to hear some feedback on that for sure.
Yeah, and for us, we picked the Sunday because, of course, we prompted Bible AI. So we have always a wonderful Bible quote image, picked by Gary, the quote, and our AI system, of course, and the image created by the system, and it's just gorgeous. And I read our own emails, of course, and I look at it and I say, oh my God, that looks great, and it's so true. And that is exactly what I hope our clients will do too. Now, of course, somebody said, do what your clients respond to, and that's fine if you have a large email list and you can afford to burn it out. But do you know if your emails even land in their inbox or in the dreaded junk spam or updates folder, promotions on Gmail? And most do these days because the rules have become so tight that even wanted emails that people opt into, they still end up in the junk folder if you don't open every emails, and especially if you don't click on them.
Great point, Christine. And I think this would be a perfect time to do a quick exercise. Can everybody take the time to go to their email right now and look for our email? Go to the search bar, type in 5D Wellness. See where that email is. Is it in your spam? Is it in your inbox? Open it up. If it would be really wise to bookmark it, put it in your favorites. You want to make sure it comes to your inbox and not your spam folder or junk folder, because then you don't see it and you would miss out on events like this. So I'm sure we'll hear after this event, we will hear from some people saying, I didn't know about the event. I couldn't find it, didn't know it was even happening. Well, it's because they didn't see their email. So if you
Yeah,
can go to your email, find your email, let us know in the chat. You found it? Was it in your inbox? Was it in your spam?
there you go. Thank you, Fed. I found a bunch emails in my spam yesterday. I know you're subscribed. Your emails come to my inbox. So what we'll do actually, and what we recommend you do to help your email deliverability, that was a topic that Gary and I studied yesterday. I think I just made a video that will be on YouTube or is already there, because I asked the question, what do the email providers, the large one like Gmail, Outlook, and all the legacy ones, what do they want to see? Thank you, to mark them not spam. What do they want to see to know whether an email is spam or not? And they go by your behavior. It doesn't really matter if you have all your DMARC, DKIM, and everything SPF set up. That's a requirement to even send emails these days, of course, and the header has to be set properly. It's a lot of technology behind it, and that we can help you with that. But the end effect is your email needs to be so valuable that your users will look for them and click on them. The more often that happens, that tells the email recipients, your email inbox provider, whether that's Gmail or Outlook or one of the legacy ones that are usually related to either Microsoft or Gmail, some way. They all go the same route. if you click them, read them, they put them in your inbox next time. And it goes fast that it goes backwards. It has never been worse, I think. But honestly, I get overwhelmed sometimes by emails. I made my own AI agent that sorts my emails now. That helps. But still, it is an issue. And we all struggle with that, right, Gary?
That's right. That's right. Yep. That's let's move
Stress.
on from
There we
emails
go.
and let's talk about the changes you'll see when you build your client engine. This is exciting stuff here. You'll notice your nervous system starts to settle. Ah, that feels great because you're out of reactive mode. Things are calming down, things are settling, things are feeling good. You see that you've got clarity, you see the path forward, you know where you're going. These are internal and external changes.
Yeah, because one always influences the other, right? When your system settles, your clients feel it. This is relational, not transactional growth. So let's ask again, which of the changes that we just talked about would make the biggest difference for you right now?
Good one.
And yes, I agree. Somebody said this is how we can create sustainable businesses. That's exactly it. That's just how,
Yes,
especially as solopreneurs, it's very different if you're in a large organization, they assign you a small task. That's easy. I thought it was hard, but it's easy. Yeah, settled, focus. Thank you. Yeah.
excellent. Yep.
Co-autopiloting. I like that. That's a good term. Co-autopiloting. Yes. Use systems and be the brain of your system, I think. Mm, love it. To have to run on autopilot would make me less distracted. Good job. Yeah, and we help people do that. We still work on getting ours perfect. We're getting there. It's not perfect yet. Will it ever? I don't know. Then they change something on us so that we have to react to because sometimes the systems change, right? We can change that card. External influences. There you go,
Right.
Gary. That you just said internal and external changes. We can't control external changes, but we can change internally. Hmm.
Yes, and another thing that changes when you build your client engine is your client conversations are easier. And they're
Mhm.
easier because your offer is clear, crystal clear. They pretty much they're already wanting what you're offering before you even connect with them. And that makes that whole journey, customer journey, that much smoother and safe and comfortable. You spend less time marketing and more time doing what you love. And that's why you became a wellness entrepreneur, is because you love helping people. And that's what you want to focus on, not all the marketing and everything else that comes with it. You want to focus on doing what you love. And we're going to get you to that point. And then growth becomes sustainable, just like we were talking about, and sustainable growth. And that's important. You want long-term growth, not because you're doing more, but because the system is working for you, not against you. That changes everything. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. We talk about this all the time. Action and execution are crucial. I believe you don't need fancy funnels. You don't need a massive audience or 50 different tools and platforms. You need clarity, simplicity, and a system that aligns with your values. This makes all the difference. I believe you don't need more tools. You need alignment, and that alignment fixes everything.
Right. And you need also permission to grow at a pace that your body, mind, and soul can sustain. Sometimes we have
Right.
to give us that permission ourselves because I always was my worst enemy.
And we usually are. That's how, I mean, that's how it works when you're learning, I believe. So the client engine isn't a silver bullet or magic pill. It's a framework that meets you where you are and grows with you at a pace that honors your capacity and respects the people you serve. And that's what it's all about, right? Respecting the people you serve. That's what we're in this for.
Mm.
This is so important. So, for all of you that made it this far, if this made sense to you, thank you, and please join us inside the 5D Wellness Forum. It's a peaceful online space for wellness entrepreneurs who want to build businesses without burning out or experiencing cognitive overload.
So, Gary, how much is it to join?
Right, yeah, I almost forgot. It's absolutely free. Who doesn't love that word, right? And we've used it quite a bit, and it's by design. We're creating this community for to have to for all the wellness entrepreneurs that are feeling alone out there, like they're on an island. We have a great community full of supportive people that want to see you win and succeed. So it's definitely the place to be.
Right, it's a space, that's what we built it for, where practitioners support practitioners without all the hustle culture. You can come and go as you like, and you can have, there's free courses. Of course, you can upgrade whenever you're ready. So if this conversation feels like a relief, the forum is simply a place to continue it.
Exactly. And if you want right now, you can take your phone out and scan the QR code, and we can continue this conversation inside the 5D Wellness Forum. How cool is that? Especially if, I see times getting a little tight. We might not have time for Q&A like I was hoping for at the end, but we've had a lot of that in the chat already. And if you want to continue the conversation, we could do that in the 5D Wellness Forum.
Hey, Gary, it works. I tried it. Look, I'm in on my phone.
Awesome. That's good to know. Thanks, Christine. You never know with technology if things are going to work, especially when you're in the middle of it, right? So that's big. So once again, if you have questions that weren't answered during this presentation or you weren't able to get off in the chat and you want to have a little after hours, uh, we can do that here. And there's the QR code again if you didn't catch it. I think everybody has it by now. So definitely check out the 5D Wellness Forum. It's the place to be in 2026. I believe that.
Yeah, I think we can close it here. It's getting towards the end. If you want to, Gary, it's up to you. And we have a few questions and maybe we
Yeah,
can.
we're wrapping it up right now. I just want to say that in the 5D Wellness Forum, you'll also find frameworks, templates, and real conversations, meaningful conversations, not the kind that you're going to find on Facebook and Instagram. There's a lot of noise there, and it's kind of a time trap. You get sucked into it and end up losing more time and not being productive. So you can eliminate all that noise by coming to our 5D Wellness Forum and interact with your peers.
Alrighty, we have a question, and I think we can slowly close, but thank you so much for everybody here today. And Gary, are you ready to take questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. We have a few minutes left. I mean, you guys were great. Thank you so much for your engagement. I love the chat was on fire. It's just awesome to see that.
All right.
Feather,
So
go for it.
is this something different than what I've already joined? Do I need to join something new, a different group? Okay.
No, you're in it. I'm sure you are. And if you don't know, just scan the QR code that you just saw.
I
But
I
it's
did.
the same. It's the same form
Okay.
where you're already in it, and most
Okay.
of you are. And if not, that's why we show the QR code, because we always have one or two. Of course, we show this link. We invite people from other Facebook URL for the forum. That is a good question. You should get it in your email. Usually you can bookmark it. Let me see. I have the I
It was
know.
on one of the slides.
It
Those
was on
two,
the slides.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
on one of the slides.
Let me grab it for you. I know I have it here on the computer. I'm not on my usual, but I get it because I know it. I actually set a special link for it that is easy, and I forgot the link. Let me try the special link that I made up. Let me see if it works first.
That's a
Slash.
really beautiful image. I like that.
Thank you.
It is. That's why I wanted to put it
Okay,
up. I
this
love
link,
this so much.
I'll put the link in the chat box that gets you directly into the forum. And I recommend you bookmark that slash form. This is the link. It should take you, when you click on it, directly to the form and to the other levels wherever you are in. Cherry has a question.
Yeah, Christy, I don't understand the level thing. I did the introduction thing, I forget what it was called now. I was trying to find it, but I can't find it. But like I look at certain things and it says available after level 2. What does that mean?
That means when people ascend in our system, they reach different levels. And even before, if you get engaged in the community, you have a little number next to your name. And when you respond to posts, when you comment, you get a level assigned.
Okay.
And we have no influence on that, honestly. We can set rewards in the system, which is pretty cool. But the levels, let me see. What do we have here in levels? And you can see a little number, and you can see who is an admin. A regular member has a round number on it, and an admin has my phone is slow, my internet is slow here, and an admin has a shield kind of level. So there's all kinds of stuff there. Here we go. I'm inside. Let me get home here. Yeah, and you can see it. I can see it. I'm level 2, for example, right now.
Okay.
It takes some time because we want to make sure that our members can take time. And many people take everything that's free right away, and then it rests peacefully in your hard drive. How many courses have you started on your hard drive?
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
lot. And I never finished them. That's a classic thing for most of us.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on some courses that I found really valuable and never completed. And that's just something we do, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a few level 2s. Excellent. Yeah, so it's not that hard. Good. You can get there. Hang out with us, come to the event, and you'll ascend.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today. This was such a great event. I really enjoyed having you all here. And remember to look for that Sunday email. That'll let you know what next week, part 2 is going to be about. It's going to be a good one. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and an awesome week ahead. Take care.
Bye.